You are listening to How to Get Over Your Ex, episode number 314, the one-word fix for breakup overwhelm. Welcome to How to Get Over Your Ex, a podcast on getting over your ex without it just taking time. I'm your host, breakup coach Dorothy. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy. Hello, my beautiful brave hearts. How are you doing? I am so excited to be here with you today. We're going to be talking about overwhelming your breakup. So if you've ever caught yourself feeling like you're just so overwhelmed by how much you miss him, you're so overwhelmed by starting over, I want you to stay with me because I am going to show you a one-word shift that changes overwhelm for you. And we have to give credit where credit's due. I have the most magical, brilliant, badass, beautiful brave hearts in the entire world. I'm so obsessed. And this week's podcast episode is actually inspired and crafted by one of my Bigger and Better Life Mastermind clients, Alea, who is in BBL, our Bigger and Better Life Mastermind. And she posted something in our community under our wins section that really stopped me in my tracks and inspired today's podcast episode. So we all want to say thank you. Thank you, girl, for going through this. I am literally just going to kind of share what she experienced. She had been journaling about feeling overwhelmed every single morning. And here's what she said. She said, I wanted to share an aha moment I had this past week. I kept waking up journaling that I felt overwhelmed. And then I thought, okay, if overwhelm is like a level 80 to 100 stress, what's the words for 50 to 79 level stress? And then with the help of Google, I learned about the word whelmed. Sounds stupid, but my brain just went to overwhelm and never considered there's a step before it. Mind fucking blown. We love this. I sat with defining the words for me. Overwhelm equated to, I can't do this, it's all too much, which equates to feeling like a wave is swallowing me whole. Where whelm equates to, this is a lot but doable, I can do hard things, which equates to feelings like being held down by a wave, but knowing I'm okay. So taking over, in quotes, right, the over part, out of the word was such a mind fuck for me because it really changed the energy of the word and then changed my thoughts around circumstances because I was just choosing the feeling because overwhelm. I was just choosing the feeling overwhelmed because the brain just didn't have other feelings really to choose from. So this aha moment makes me want to pick an emotion off the emotion wheel and do a little definition journaling moment so that I can slowly have more emotions to pick from my toolbox. I mean, come on, brave hearts. Is that not epic? So good. So when she shared this, I immediately thought about rock bottom breakups, and specifically mine. I remember sitting on my couch thinking, I'm so overwhelmed by the feelings of missing him. I felt so overwhelmed by starting over. I'm so overwhelmed by the fact that he's already with someone new. And whenever I was consumed by that overwhelm, I was really I was paralyzed. I was doing nothing. I was frozen. Because when you tell yourself you're overwhelmed, your brain hears you can't handle this, it shuts down. But if I had known to say maybe a different word that was less consuming, like I'm whelmed by how much I miss him, this is a lot and I can hold it, right? I would have been able to maybe feel it and move through it a little bit differently. So here's how I see this playing out in breakups. There's a lot of overwhelm in breakups in general, right? Overwhelmed by the grief, by the devastation, the loss, the emotions, feeling completely consumed and debilitated by them. There's overwhelm in starting over and the fear that comes with that. There's overwhelmed by the urge to text your ex, overwhelmed by seeing them with someone new. And in each scenario, you might have a lot of the same words my client did, right? I can't do this regarding the grief or starting over or seeing them with someone new. It's too much for me. I'm drowning, which creates a lot of fear, helplessness, and paralysis. Yet we do have options here. Even in those moments that feel like we don't, we do. And in those same scenarios, like overwhelmed by the grief, right? You could be, maybe I'm just whelmed by the grief. Whelmed by starting over or the urge to text your ex or seeing them with someone new. And words that are associated to whelm might be, this is hard and I'm handling it. I can hold a lot, I'm swimming, not drowning, right? Which I would hope creates capability, agency, and forward motion, right? And what we're noticing is that when you say, I'm overwhelmed, you're telling your brain, I can't handle this. And your brain believes you. It shuts down. It goes into panic mode. It makes you want to numb, avoid, or reach out to your ex for relief. But when you make that subtle and small change to the word and tell yourself, maybe I'm not overwhelmed, maybe I'm actually just whelmed, you can signal to your brain that this, in fact, is a lot. We're not denying that it's a lot. It is, in fact, a lot. And I'm capable of holding it. Your brain believes that too. It stays online. It stays regulated. You can feel the hard thing without it swallowing you. Do you know what I'm talking about? To me, like, this is the difference between drowning and swimming. Same water, different relationship to it. You're in the grief either way, right? You're in the missing him either way. You're in the starting over either way. The water doesn't change, but when you say I'm overwhelmed, you're flailing and gasping and kind of going under, versus when you might say I'm whelmed, you're still in deep water, but you're swimming, you're kicking, you're floating, maybe you're moving, you're breathing, and you don't go down. So I see this playing out in breakups. Like, you can hack this in breakups. I think about specific situations like going from I'm overwhelmed by how much I miss him to I am whelmed by missing him. I'm overwhelmed by my memories. I'm whelmed by the memories. I'm overwhelmed by starting over. I'm whelmed by the rebuild. I'm overwhelmed by seeing him move on. I am whelmed by this information. I love this word. It's so good. I'm overwhelmed by the fact that I still want him back, even though I know I shouldn't. I'm whelmed by the fact that I still want him. It's okay that I feel this. I can want him and not act on it. And one more thing I want to call out. Some of you are going to try this and your brain is going to fight you. There might be resistance. It's going to say, no, in fact, I am overwhelmed, Dorothy. You do not understand how bad the situation is. And if that happens, I want to validate you, but I also want to ask yourself, is it actually true? Am I actually incapable of handling this? Or am I just very uncomfortable right now? Because uncomfortable and incapable are not the same thing. You can be deeply uncomfortable with something, but yet deeply capable with it as well. At the same time, both can be true. And I think that's what whelmed means. Okay? We're not completely discounting how much something might be or how big this might feel, but we are fully capable of sitting with the discomfort of it. So here's your homework. For the next 7 days, I want you to catch yourself every time you think or hear yourself stating, I'm overwhelmed. And if you're journaling about it a lot or you're noticing the feeling come through, I want you to pause and I want you to try on, what if I'm not actually overwhelmed? What if I'm whelmed? And you don't have to try to change the feeling. We're just going to simply explore it, let it land. Simply change the word and just see what happens. We're collecting data. So maybe you begin to notice a subtle change in your body, potentially your breathing, in your ability to actually move through the day instead of, again, collapsing underneath it. And I want you to track what you do next. Because here's what I've witnessed. When I notice my clients saying I'm overwhelmed, they truly freeze. I want to say freeze or collapse. That word keeps coming out. But they do the thing they don't want to do. They scroll the Instagram, they stalk their ex, they call their mom crying, they stay in bed. None of that is bad or right or wrong or good or bad, right? But perhaps if you nudged yourself to redirect to I'm whelmed, where you still acknowledge the hard, but you also acknowledge that you're capable of the hard. Does that make sense? But I think if you allow yourself to acknowledge that it's hard, acknowledge that it's a lot, and know you're capable of it by reminding of yourself of this one word switch from overwhelmed to whelmed, Perhaps you'll make movement in a direction that you actually want to go in. Take a shower, go for a walk, text a friend, make dinner, small actions, but actions, and track it to see if it's working for you, right? All right, my beautiful Bravehearts, I want to know how this goes. Please share what happens with me. I'm on Instagram. You can find me at Breakup Coach Dorothy. DM me. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, remember, you're not too much. Your feelings aren't too much. Try on the feeling of whelmed. You are capable of holding it. And if you want support practicing this work for 3 months, so that whelmed becomes your default instead of something you have to remember to do, I want you to come join the Get Over Your Ex program. I'll leave the link in the show notes. And I am sending you so much love. I love you so, so, so much. And I will talk to you next time. If you're loving the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast and you want to learn how to get over your ex in 3 months or less to build a life better than the one you thought you had with your ex, I would like to personally invite you to my next group course where we take everything you've learned here on the podcast and apply it to your life. Come check it out at www.lifecoachdorothy.com.